Cool. Silly, the first round of WSX didn't end too well for you, but I think overall, before that, it wasn't too bad. What did you make of the night in the first round this year compared to Cardiff and Australia last year?
Yeah, I mean, it's good. Glad to be on a 450 again. Heat race went pretty well. Had a good battle with Dean and Savachi there for a quick turn, but me and Dean swapped positions a bunch, so that was good to get back into battle mode, I guess. But first race was the main event was good. I was trying to get around Brayton there for fifth at the end, and I was playing offense, and I should have been playing defense to Wilson and Nichols right behind me. And then the second moto, I wanted to get a hole shot so bad because I hate being behind those guys, and just held it on a quarter of a second too long and ended up overshooting the first turn. And then third moto again, rode good. I think I was trying to get Brayton again, and for sixth, and just washed out. And I don't think I popped anything in my knee, but I felt a pop, and it just felt unstable when I got up. So err on the side of caution, and decided to pull in. I don't know. I would hate to go out there and twist it again if something was wrong and mess it up. But even walking around right now, it's a little unstable. So we'll get that checked out when I get home. But hopefully it checks out. I think it'll be fine.
And obviously, you sort of came out of retirement to come back to Cardiff last year. And obviously, you don't race an awful lot compared to these guys that do MS Supercross. What is it like racing these guys that race every week, coming back in that intensity?
Yeah, it's such a different feeling in this series. It's
format.
Yeah, the format it's so boom boom boom, like so quick, and I enjoy it. It allows somebody like me who hasn't had experience really all year long to come out here and battle with, like I said, like with Wilson in the heat race felt good because I know he's had a decent year in Supercross and got 17 rounds under his belt, and I'm coming out there with probably 2 rounds this year, and it just feels good. Like I got a little bit more confidence back tonight. Just need to go home and work a little bit harder on the endurance and a little bit of strength, and we'll come back for Singapore fighting.
And what was it about World Supercross that lured you out of retirement? I mean, or did you just miss racing, and would you have came back and raced AMA Supercross regardless, or was it just this series and racing outside America something new for you?
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly. I never really had the urge or the fight to come back and race Supercross. Not only because I personally don't feel like I want to do it, and also, I have all the respect in the world for those guys lining up there. They're the cream of the crop. They're the best guys in the world, and I've raced them for years. I know how prepared and how all in you have to be in order to be one of those guys, even or even be in the top 5 or top 10. And I just don't have it in me to do that anymore. But the idea of lining up 6 times a year, at least this year, and going racing around the world and being able to travel with my wife, and that's just something I never got to do before. Like anytime we raced overseas, it always felt so rushed. Like we'd go to Paris, and I'd fly in as late as possible and leave as soon as the race was over, so I could get home and train. So I didn't really get to take in parts of the world. So I mean, for instance, this week I'm staying a couple extra days out here. Gonna go check out Bath after this. Last year we stayed in Cardiff for an extra day, and then went and saw London after. So the older I get, the more I want to experience the world and travel and take it all in.
And just when you look back at your career before you retired, I mean, you've done a lot in the sport, podium guy, top 5 guy, you even got to represent America at Motocross the Nations. Not many riders get to do that coming from America. When you look back on it now, are you happy with what you achieved in the sport, or maybe it's a little bit frustrated that you couldn't win all the time, but it's not exactly easy?
I should have never had the career I had, and I knew that the whole time. I got lucky so many times, and put the hard work in. And when I say lucky, I got matched up with the right people. A lot of people that were good to me in the beginning and good to me in the end. And everybody I had in my corner was just somebody special to me. And when I signed on to the Troy Lee team, my second year racing, I was going to college, so I was ready to hang it up and find something else. And I just knew it really wasn't in the cards, and got that call. And man, the rest is history. We hit the ground running, and I took advantage of every relationship, every sponsor, every connection I made. I tried to take advantage of it and learn as much as I can. So I achieved a lot more than I thought I ever could in this industry and on a dirt bike. So I'm very thankful for the career I had, and I look back on it with no regrets.
And just focusing on the Motocross of Nations, and you got to represent America. Special event, what was your thoughts on it and being able to represent your country and racing against different competition in motocross? I like it when some Americans come and race MXGP. Obviously you decided to focus on Supercross, but I'm sure it was good to race a different track.
Yeah, it started out as very honored and excited, and when I got there I was very humbled, very, very humbled. It's hard to come over here and race these guys on tracks that they're so familiar with. Matterley Basin was an amazing track. I love riding it, but I don't know how those guys go that faster on that track. If I could show up on a Sunday and cruise around and throw whips and have fun and ride that track, it was so much fun. But trying to race the best in the world on that track, I just didn't have it in me. And we had a mechanical both times I was on the track because of the rain. But nonetheless, still an honor and an opportunity I never thought I'd get to have.
And watching you ride, you're quite smooth. A lot of Americans these days, very fast, aggressive. I suppose maybe the national tracks are quite fast tracks, what rewards that, but your style is quite smooth, almost like a GP type rider. Is that something you worked on when you're so young to try and be really smooth?
Yeah.
Or where did it come from?
I rode a lot of BMX when I was a kid, because we didn't have a lot of tracks where I grew up. The closest track was like an hour and a half away, so I didn't get to ride a lot. So I kind of filled the void with riding BMX, and I always looked up to guys like McGrath and Jean-Michel Bale, guys that were really smooth and really methodical. And even from a young age, I didn't even really know what it meant to be smooth, but I really liked when I saw that riding style. I was attracted to it. So I always tried to look like what would McGrath kind of look like, or what would JMB do, or even Reedy when he was at the top of his game. He was always my favorite too. So. And it's really surreal too. Like, I got to race against Reed, friends with McGrath, friends with Reed now, and I even spent some time with Jean-Michel in Detroit one year. He came and hung out with us in the Honda pit, and it's just so cool to be around your heroes like that, and people that you've looked up to your whole life.
And when you look at the sport today in the MA Nationals, you've obviously got Lawrence, you've got Deegan in the American side of the world, and I'm not sure if you follow GPs, but you've obviously got hurlings, you've got guys like Lucas Conan. It's looking good for the future of the sport.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, hurlings, he looks like he was just genetically built to ride a dirt bike. Like, he's a absolute, I don't even know, he's an animal. So yeah, Lawrence is the most calculated guy on the bike. His riding style is effortless and fast and so smooth. But yeah, there's a lot of guys that still kind of carry that flag for being smooth, and I don't know. I like watching guys like that, and I also like watching guys like Barsha and guys that kind of hang it out. More so because I don't know how they do it. I used to, when I was teammates with Tomac in 2016. I'd watch him ride, and he'd be a little bit quicker than me at the test track, and I would try to ride like him, and I just go slower. So I don't know how those guys do it. I don't know how they're hanging out the way they do, and but at the same time, like I think Hurlings and Tomac were both just like they have the perfect build to ride a dirt bike, and it's something that's really amazing to watch.